Hey, you survived the holidays. And now what are you going to do? The holidays were so busy, so chaotic, that I need to claim my life back. Oh, maybe you feel the same way. And that's what we're going to talk about today is how to survive the aftermath of the holidays. Now, I do some hosting over the holidays. And if you've ever done hosting over the holidays, you know that you're moving furniture, you are decorating, you are cooking, you're cleaning, and all these things take so much time. And they're all wonderful. They're great to spend with family and friends, and I wouldn't change a thing. Like I would do this over and over again. Now, after hosting, and if you've done it, you know that it still feels so great to kind of reset your life. And that's what this is about, is how to reset your life. These are seasonal survival tips for after the holidays. Now the holidays are going to come again, and I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm still going to be smarter about how I reset my life and how I plan for the next holidays coming. And that's what I want to share with you today. My first tip has to do with finances. This was one of the biggest challenges of this holiday season. Now, I don't spend a whole lot of money on gifts, but I do host the holidays, and my major expense has to do with groceries. And this year, my budget got blown out of the water. I felt like the expenses for groceries doubled. So I need to re examine my budget for next year. And that's what I would suggest to you. If you already have blown your budget, there's time to take action on it for next year. Now, if you used credit cards, one of the first things you're going to want to do is pay those off. If you can, schedule to pay them every 2 weeks or pay them off directly. Just pay them off in full. If you felt like you overspent because you felt like you needed to or there was some pressure, there's one way to take a look at your credit cards and how you use them, and that's by not using them. If you find you have too many credit cards, start cutting them up. Cut one up, cut two up, keep yourself one for emergencies. But if you want to reduce the way that you are expending and accumulating debt over the holidays, one way to manage that is by simply just cutting up your credit cards. Another way to look at reducing your finances and your expenses is to give gifts, give homemade gifts. And an interesting thing happened during this year where a friend just said, "Hey, Diane, the perfect Christmas gift for me would be your chimichurri sauce." Now, my husband makes it, it's not really me, but that's what she was asking for. And if you can make something that people want, maybe that's the best gift you can give. And maybe it's the best reasonable expenditure on a gift that you can give. Now, I appreciated the fact that she just told me what she wanted. I mean, that makes just life so much easier. There are other gifts you can give as a baby boomer or a Gen Xer, and that is something like babysitting, like a free service, something you can do for somebody else that really just takes time. And if you're retired, we have time, and that's something we can give to someone. Now, another way to give a gift is to give an experience. And one way is to call your friend up and say, "You know what? Instead of giving you a gift this year, I'm going to take you to an event. I'm going to take you to the beach. We're going to go listen to a band, or we're going to go to a car show." And a lot of those things in our community are free. And what better gift can you give someone than to share time with them? Especially if it's your parents or your grandparents. They would probably love it if you picked them up and took them someplace and spent time with them. Now, it's just going to cost you a couple hours out of the year or a month or a day. But that personalized time spent with a loved one will last a long time. Now, another thing you can do is go to the library. The library has a lot of new free benefits that I feel are underused. You can get movies, you can get books on tape, you can download things to watch later. One of my other favorite things to do is to go to a nature center. And I do that with my husband and my girlfriends. Sometimes I will ask them if they want to go for a walk. And if they say yes, I will pick them up and we will go to a nature center and just spend time outside together for about an hour or 2 hours. And we just chit chat the whole time. And then I will bring them home and I will go out on about my day. One of the things for survival on the holidays is to think a little differently, especially when it comes to your finances, because you know, and I know, that my finances are critical to my future, to the next chapter of my life. And I, at some point, am going to encounter some financial challenges. And if I can prepare and do some smart spending now, I feel like the better off I'm going to be. And that is one way that I'm taking a look at how I'm going to survive the holidays next year. Now, the second way I plan on surviving the holidays for next year is to take a look at my health, because after the holidays, I felt a little burnt out. I felt very sluggish. I felt very tired. I felt worn out. Maybe I overdid it for myself. Maybe I overdid it for everybody else, because I want everybody to come into my home. I want them to feel welcome. I want them to enjoy themselves. I want them to leave my house feeling like they are loved, they are taken care of, and that somebody thought about them genuinely to make them feel good over the holidays, to spread joy. And maybe that took a little bit out of me, which I would do very gladly again and again, but I need to plan for it differently. I don't want to push myself. Now, after the holidays, I still don't want to push myself. Like, I am gently getting back into my new routines. And that's one of the pleasures of being retired, is I didn't have to reset my home and my life to get myself back on track to go to work. Because then you're just transitioning from one busy thing to the next busy thing. And when you're retired, it's easier to make that transition from a busy, hectic holiday season to gently move into recovery and survival from the holidays. And that's the way I'm going to take a look at my health next year. Now, I'm going to prioritize healthy eating at the same time, because the holidays is a time when you're going to enjoy everything. You're going to eat the candy, the sugary desserts, the bready stuffing, and the chutneys, and all those wonderful things that remind you of home and the holidays. I I don't want to forget about those. And those are still going to be a part of the scene next year. But when it comes to recovering from the holidays, I'm going to plan it a little differently. Like, I am going to take that turkey carcass and I'm making bone broth right away. That is one of the things that I feel is going to help me on that recovery path, by eating something healthy that comes out of a holiday season where there is a lot of unhealthy eating. Maybe I will do a pot of beans that comes with the ham bone. But I am going to clean out my refrigerator and get rid of some of the things that I feel like are unhealthy, instead of thinking the food is going to go to waste and I shouldn't have spent that much money, so I have to eat it. And I'm going to spend less money on processed foods. I'm going to get rid of the temptations. I want to get the good nutrients out of the good food. So if I plan the holidays with more good food and less processed foods, I feel like that recovery from the holidays and my health and my diet will recover quickly. My third tip for surviving the holidays is to reset my home. Now, I'm okay with about a week or two after the holidays by moving slowly, to getting things back to where they were. Now, my mother used that term a lot after the holidays, and she would call me up and a regular phone, not a cell phone, and she would say, "Are things back to normal?" And I knew exactly what she meant. She meant, "Is your home cleaned up? Is the food all gone? Are you back to work? Is the tree taken down? Like, have you reset your life back to normal?" Now, the holidays are very busy in our home, and there is a lot to do before people start showing up and enjoying themselves in my home. Like, we have to extend the table, we have to move some furniture, we have to set up the decorations, we have to do the meal planning, we have to do the shopping. And by the time the holiday comes around, I have already spent enough time looking at my home being disrupted that I am already looking forward to it becoming normalized again. And like I said, I would gladly do this over and over and over again, but that is a feeling. And I need to acknowledge that feeling that I have and how to deal with it the best way that I possibly can, especially for next year. Because I don't want holiday burnout. I don't want people coming to my house feeling like they're intruding. I want them to come to my house, enjoy themselves, and leave with joy and love in their heart. So for me, my plan is to do one room at a time. I am going to pack up one room, then move to the next room, and then move to the next room. That way, there I feel like I'm accomplishing something and not being so scatterbrained about how I am going about resetting my life back. And then I'm going to do the cleaning, okay? I'm going to deep clean each and every room, one room at a time. And that includes cleaning up things like the light switches and the baseboards and the doorknobs. A lot of areas that really didn't get attended to, that probably should get attended to when you've had a lot of people in your house. And maybe that COVID experience just freaked me out a little bit, that I feel like I need to do these things, but there's no harm in creating a clean environment, a healthy environment. So I don't see a downside, and I'm going to take the time to do that deep clean. Now, when those two things are done, I want to feel the transition. Like everything's put away, everything's clean, but it feels like things have gone back to normal. But I want things to still feel differently. I want them to feel bright and cheery and something, so I don't feel like I just went through a transition that left me feeling a little burnt out. And in order to do that, I'm going to buy some flowers. And I have purchased some flowers before from Publix, and this is my hot tip to you. I have purchased some flowers at Publix that have lasted about a week or 2 weeks. And they are only $3 to $4. So if you ever go to Publix, if you have a Publix near you, look for that bunch of flowers that's about $3 to $4 and purchase them and put them throughout your house, or put them in one place where you see them every day. This is going to help you, and it helped me find closure. It helped me say that, okay, the holidays are great. I've had that kind of closure. And now this has brightened me up to what's coming in the next few months ahead. It's a bit of transition that easily refreshes the house, refreshes the spirit, and changes the mindset a little bit. Maybe just what I need. It might be just the thing that you need to help you have that transition from the holidays, so you don't feel burnt out like I was starting to feel. Now, those flowers may make a small difference, they may make a large difference, but it also makes me feel as though I didn't overspend, because the holidays this year, like I said in the finances, I overspent in the groceries. And I didn't want to overspend in making that transition. So that's why I chose these flowers. I'm wondering if you've had some similar feelings after the holidays this year, and if you have, what they are and how you are handling them. So please share in your comments below. I appreciate you all following along. Please subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.